Hi, this is G from Native Speakers Academy, and welcome once again to 10-Minute English. This is where we introduce short articles from the news for upper intermediate and advanced level students. And in the Common European Framework, that's level B2 and C1. Today's article is, let me just pull it up for a second so you can see, Parenting Lessons from Tribes Around the World, a conversation with photographer Jimmy Nelson. And these are excerpts from an interview that I found online. If you want to go and read the full interview, you can find it at Mama Hub, and the photographer goes into a lot more details there, but I just picked out some key points which I hoped might be interesting for you. If you are interested, you can go to beforethay.com and you can see the work of this photographer. You can see his TED talk, and you can read a little bit more about his projects and his plans. He has traveled the world interviewing different tribes which might not be here in the future. He has tried to make a historical record in the visual sense. So, if you want more information about what we do, remember it's www.nsa-slovakia.com. You can also find us on YouTube. We have the Native Speakers Academy official page. We also have a page under my name. And I recommend that you check out our Pinterest boards. We've got education news and resources, politics and society. We've got the curiosity board for parents who are interested in getting new information. We've got learning issues. We've got language and teaching, which is really good for students and teachers of EFL. And we have created a new board, the business board, for professionals who'd like more information about management, coaching and consulting. So feel free to check them out. But the aim today is to get through this article, so let's do it. Remember that if you have a problem with the language, you can use Google. Just type in define followed by the word that you want, or if you want the history of the word, there's the online etymology dictionary, or if you want to find out about some funky relationships between language, you can try visuwords.com. There we go. As usual, I have highlighted the key vocabulary in yellow. You can check it before we go through the article, or you can review it after. It's up to you. So, let's get to it. Parenting Lessons from Tribes Around the World, a conversation with photographer Jimmy Nelson. The first question was, in your observations of the tribes, what are you focusing on initially? Once you make pretty pictures, people go, "What pretty pictures?" Then they look beyond the pretty pictures and go, "Wow, who are the pictures of? Aren't they amazing? Who is this?" They start asking questions which we've not asked before, and if we don't find answers soon, these people will go. If that happens, the world will go upside down, because these tribes give us the balance of culture, of knowledge of the world's last natural environments, traditions, and languages. The world can't be all about progress and material wealth. It must also be about consolidation of what we already have, which is a natural, spiritual, mental, cultural wealth. We have kept ourselves busy for many, many generations, believing material wealth was the only way forward. We have to regain the balance. So, what he is saying is that we can have progress, we can have the new, but let's not forget about where we have come from to get here. Tablets and iPads and smartphones are all very nice and extremely useful, but let's not throw away the books just yet. When you were with them, meaning the tribes, did you notice anything that made you think this aspect is so important to their life and their existence and their identity, but they themselves didn't feel that it was anything special? The majority of them know how significant the natural setting is that they live in, and how pure that is. Because they're the last of their groups. 99% of their people have already moved away to the cities and live in boxes under bridges. Some of them have returned and told them what city life is like. So they are aware. They are aware of the differences. But I think they see the modern world as a different world, with a different understanding from how they have lived their lives. I want to say simple, but simple has often a negative connotation. But I mean simple in the sense of beautiful, right? Imagine having to wake up in the morning and not having to worry about going to work, not waking to the sound of an alarm clock. Imagine not being worried about meeting those targets at the end of the month. Imagine not having to pay taxes. Then again, imagine not knowing where your next meal is going to come from. Regarding health, how do the tribes look after themselves? They don't have access to medicine like we do. Medicine, there's an interesting word. You really ought to check the etymology of the medicini. It's a survival of the fittest. If you're not healthy when you're born, you die. As harsh and simple as that. Those who are born healthy, functioning, they live, and they live a healthy life. A lot of the illnesses we suffer here are self-inflicted. They're self-inflicted from food, sugars, salts, all the synthetic aspects. They're self-inflicted through the lifestyle we lead. We believe we have to live for happiness. None of these people have the term happiness because they don't worry about the future or when they're going to be happy. They just are. They are what they are. Perhaps they live healthier lives. There are some studies of life expectancy which show that there are many areas of the modern world where life expectancy is going down and not up. There are places in Central Africa where life expectancy for men is only around 40 years, and in some places in Russia it's only about 55. So that's kind of interesting. Also, when you look at life expectancy, you have to look at it objectively. If you want to do that, you have to remove statistics such as men dying in war and death of children at very young ages in order for the statistics to be overall objective. That's not a criticism of modern healthcare, by the way. I think that everybody wants to have those scans done when they're pregnant to check the babies. Fine. Here, everybody talks about routine, about sleep training, about when to give solid foods. In the tribes, did you see any small infants being fed solid food? That's a very female-orientated question. Nice question, I like it. No, they're all fed by the breast. They feed them until they are 4 or 5 years old. Why not? It's 10 times healthier coming out of your breast because it's clean. It also, I would add, contains all of the vitamins, minerals, nutrients, DNA, and biological information that children desperately need. It builds their whole immune system, and there's no structure to it. It's just when they're hungry, they eat. There's none of this, oh, they should eat, they shouldn't eat. It's now bedtime, we're going to have to wean them off. All these communities, the best food comes out of your breasts. Excuse me, something caught in my throat. So, the babies are constantly on the mothers. Yes, they're never left alone. If the parents are working, the other brothers and sisters carry the babies. They're always sleeping between the parents or the brothers and sisters. And from when the day begins, they're attached to another human being. Everywhere you go. That's a common denominator. Obviously, in the colder climates, they do that for warmth. But even in the warmer climates, they need the contact with the parent. All children need that contact. Skin on skin. What else have you witnessed on your travels that influenced how you raised your kids? When you go to some of these communities, the children grow up in the environment with everybody. In Papua New Guinea, there is a group of people living in tree houses, 40 meters up from the ground. The tree houses don't have a fence. The children just crawl freely. They just don't go over the edge. They know. They have that instinct. I think letting children have the opportunity for free play is extremely important. See some of the other presentations that we have done for information. I think you have to let children find their own borders. We live in a city. My children are allowed to go and come in the evening as they please. We are, again, judged by other people that give curfews and deadlines. My wife and I say, they're going to get out anyway, they're going to find a way. But we say to our children, if that's what you want to do your thing. You'll learn accordingly. Please keep in touch with us, please communicate with us. If you don't trust them to have their own adventures, they'll intuitively fight against it. They'll want to go and have those experiences. If you, as a farmer, don't want your animals to run away, then you better give them a large area, field, meadow in which to play. Source of the text was Mama Hub. Visit the website for the full original article where you can get some more information. I think it's nice to realize that each culture, both in the present and in the past, has its own way of doing things. We need to hold on and not lose those positive traditions that existed, whether they were North American Indian traditions, Scottish clan traditions, African tribal traditions, Aboriginal, Maori, whatever they were. We need to find and remember what is good and incorporate it into our own lives, into our own relationships with our own children. You can find more information about what we do at our home site, www.nsa-slovakia.com. There are hundreds of research articles there. Please explore at your will. You'll find hundreds of videos also on our YouTube pages about a wealth of different subjects. You can find us on Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and in lots of other social forums on the internet. This is about all we have time for today. If you would like to give us some feedback on this test presentation, then let us know what you like, what you don't like. If you want more of something, if you want less of something, we will try to include it. A link to the article will be posted together with this video online. And that's about all we have time for right now. If you're interested, you can take one of our special one-to-one English language study courses. Just send us an email and I will record another little spot for 10-minute English very soon. So stay tuned, stay posted, stay well, and that's it for now.